Taigway.
Hey.
We're coming at you from the Colorado Rocky Mountains headed to Farmington, New Mexico. But we have a public service announcement for you from Indian Country. My name is Chief Joseph Riverwind.
And I'm Dr. Laurelyn Riverwind.
And this is your First Nations public service announcement. There's a lot going on in the news about the vote, the native vote or the lack of the native vote. So we just want to touch on a few things about that. In the 1900s, early 1900s, it was either 1924, 1927, we were given as First Nations people the right to vote.
Yay.
Now, in many states, that the right to vote, 1957, there were some states that still didn't allow Native people to vote. All right, now let's see here. We also have included in there World War I. You know, we have all these battles that have taken place, World War II. Native people didn't need an address to volunteer or to be drafted to fight in the military for this country, oftentimes for a country who still didn't recognize them as their own. So, rock the native vote. What is happening? Oh, wait a minute. It's President Trump's fault, right?
No.
What?
Okay, so in case you guys don't know what we're talking about, it's all through the news that there are a lot of Native people on reservation lands. They're talking about North Dakota particularly, who don't have physical addresses, 911 addresses, and use P.O. boxes for addresses instead. And they're saying they can't vote because you have to have a 911 physical address in order to be able to vote. Well, first of all, I did not see that in the Constitution. And there are a lot of people who are blaming the Trump administration for the fact that this is the case, when in fact, it was 2012 when this was implemented under the Obama administration.
So this problem is a problem that started under the Obama administration, which, by the way, Obama administration made a lot of promises to Indian Country, fell through on a whole bunch of them. You know, I don't even want to hear about the Standing Rock pipeline halting, because we were there at Standing Rock when he gave the order to halt the pipeline, while simultaneously signing an order to have two other pipelines going through ancient Comanche lands. So whatever on the Obama administration helping Indian Country. So 5 years.
He didn't halt it until he knew the outcome of the presidential election. When he knew that his candidate wasn't going to win, he decided he could vote, that he could put it through, because he knew Trump would reverse it. Mm-hmm. So he didn't want to be the bad guy. He wanted to be the good guy. Well, he sure didn't stop it before the vote came through, did he?
Yeah, research why Indian Country calls him Walking Eagle, his new Indian name. I'm talking about Trump, not Trump, I'm talking about Obama. Anyway, so we have, across the board, 5 years that this problem has not been fixed. You can't blame the Trump administration for something, 6 years, the Trump administration for something that he had nothing to do with. So the system needs to get fixed. Something has to be done so Native people can vote. Do you know how important one vote can be?
Yes. It was by one vote in the Congress that the Trail of Tears occurred.
You hear that? The removal of the Cherokee, the Creek, the Choctaw, Chickasaw, the Seminole, the 5 civilized tribes, that came to vote, and it passed by one vote. Don't think, oh, well, my vote doesn't matter. Oh, elections doesn't matter. It's all rigged. Blah, 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 blah. You know what? Every soldier on the battlefield that bled and died to give you that right to have the freedom to vote, they didn't think that bullet was rigged, or that bomb was rigged, or this war is rigged.
If you want to honor veterans, vote.
Right, and we say that because Indian Country, we honor our veterans. At powwows, they bring in the colors, they bring in the flags, they bring in the eagle staff. Honor veterans. Use your right to vote. Vote your conscience. Vote what you believe and stand on. You know, we believe that many of our traditional values fall in line with conservative values, like being pro-life. Our people value life. We consider life sacred. Yes, Mini Wakan, that was what everybody was chanting at Standing Rock, right? The water is sacred. Well, so is life. And guess what? You can't have life without the water. We understand that. But life is sacred. We had ball games to settle disputes rather than go to battle with other tribes, so we wouldn't have to take the life of a brother or a sister or uncle, an aunt or niece, or somebody who was on the battlefield.
And there is an agenda by Planned Parenthood to reduce the number of minority children coming into this world. If you don't believe it, research the founder of Planned Parenthood.
Which, by the way, Planned Parenthood was a democratically inspired by the Democratic Party, just like the KKK was, and
the majority of the slaveholders were of the Democratic Party.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how it is that many minorities are in with the Democratic Party. It's some kind of really amazing
mind flip. I don't get it.
Power that has some propaganda that's gone to work here. But I want to say something else about that. The fact that the Obama administration put through that law that says you have to have a physical address. But you know, that physical address should have nothing to do with whether or not you can vote. Every homeless American here in this country is still a citizen of this nation. If they're a citizen of this nation, they have the right to vote. It shouldn't depend on whether or not they have an address.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're registered in one county, they should be able to vote in one county. And when we decide that they have to have a home address, there's something wrong with that. That's not constitutional.
It's not. It's taking away our rights. So everything from the right to vote, our right to uphold and honor life, which is sacred. Which, by the way, why is it Planned Parenthood facilities are always in the low-income neighborhoods? Can you think population control of ethnicities? Wake up, people. We're seeing generations of Native people growing up in a way it's so different from the traditional values and the traditional ways, from the traditional thought patterns that have been passed down that our ancestors fought and died for to keep, and now it's swinging in a completely different manner. You want to know where else a conservative values falls into play with Native people? Our right to bear arms. If you're a Native person, you more than anybody know how important it is to have the right to defend ourselves. Why? Because what did the government do before they placed people on reservations or before they forced remove the tribes? They disarmed us. Hello, they took away our right to defend our families, our homes, and our lands.
And when that happens, we're vulnerable. When the government wants to take away weapons from the public, from the general populace, there is an agenda behind it. All of us should not be suffering for the insanities of a few, and those few will find weapons no matter if they're procured legally or not.
So one vote makes such a huge difference. You know where else a vote makes a difference? Because of one vote, our national bird is not a turkey, it's an eagle. Because of one vote, our national language is English, not German. Because of one vote, again, I can't reiterate this enough, one vote is what passed the removal that caused the Trail of Tears.
Don't get us wrong. We are all about legitimate voting.
Mm-hmm.
We don't believe that illegal immigrants should be voting. We don't believe that people should be shipping refugees in to change the vote. We believe that you should prove citizenship in the United States.
It is protocol, which falls in line with traditional Native values. We had a protocol for everything. A protocol for being adopted into the tribe and becoming a citizen. Protocols are no different than laws. It's a regulation. It's a way of doing things.
Because citizens have the right to vote, not occupants.
So rock the Native vote. Get out there and vote. Hit the polls. Send up some smoke. Pray that this issue with Native people not being able to vote gets fixed by this current administration. Real quick, we'll throw this out there too about something that does have to, the flip change, and that's the protection of our resources, taking us off of oil dependency. We have the technology for alternative energies and alternative ways of fuel. We need to stop funding terrorism by being dependent on oil. So rock the Native vote, get out there. Your vote will count.
We love you guys. Be blessed.
Seneko Kakona.